Jesus was important. And of course, if we realize that in our own lives, we'd be a lot better. So Jesus is the center of the scriptures. Jesus is the center of the gospels. Jesus is the whole focus. But then one of the unique aspects of Jesus is that he was born. This is God born, as you know, in Bethlehem, in a stable, because there was no room for him in the inn. And the Son of God starts walking the earth, like you and me. The Son of God had his diapers changed, like ours was. The Son of God was fed and nourished, probably at the breast of Mary and then through the milk of the animals. This is God, so humbling himself that he becomes a human being with all our needs and longings except sin, because he was God, could not sin. Now, the logic of that unique family, Mary and Joseph's, was that they were ancestors, they were relatives. Today, we look at the relatives of Mary specifically, St. Anne and St. Joachim, names that were given to them through tradition. They're not in the scriptures, but they're in that proto-evangelium. So the names of Mary's parents became honorable. Doing that is nothing unusual for us as people and for us as Christians and Judeo-Christians. If we look to the book of Sirach that was read by Victoria a few seconds ago, the book of Sirach is also called the book of wisdom. And it enlightens us as to how to live in this world but bring the values of God into our lives. So all through the book of wisdom is practical information and practical attestations about living the good life. They weren't Christian, they were Jews. But listen to some of the phrases that Victoria read from the book of wisdom. Godly people whose virtues will never be forgotten. Their wealth is their families and their descendants. Through God's covenant, their families endure. And it goes on to other aspects of family life. So today we focus on Joachim and Anna as two symbols of family life. And the scriptures say, in Jesus, we recall, you're lucky because you see what ancestors did not see, he tells his people. Well, imagine his grandmother. If his grandmother was anything like my grandmothers, Celeste and Rosalia, they spoiled him like crazy. Young Mary, only child of theirs, has her only child in very unusual circumstances that required a lot of faith. And this kid grows up, this little Jesus grows up. And I'm sure he went over to Grandma's house when he was disciplined by his mother, because he was a boy, don't forget, he was God, but he was also a boy. So he probably fell and got hurt and got into squabbles with his buddies on the fields. And where would he go? Of course he would go to Mom and Dad, Joseph and Mary, but to Grandma first. Because I think grandmas and grandpas have the role that is so unique. They focus on the ability so often, and when it doesn't happen, it's sad, but they focus on the ability to spoil their grandchildren. Today, we honor the 53 years of marriage of Anna and Joseph, and their 7 grandchildren. How many grandchildren? 7 grandchildren. And I hope you spoil every one of them all the time. Because that's what a grandmother's job is. It's not written anywhere, but to honor the heritage that God has placed into the earth, family life, and allow grandparents to see their grandchildren. They are living the scriptures. They're watching their ancestors grow, and they're leaving their name and their love to their children and their children's children. And someday, when we're all gone, They will speak of us. I have no children, but my nieces and nephew, they better speak about me. And that's what family life is all about. And in our world, we can't be naive to the fact that there are elements in our society that want to destroy family life. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Father, would you give Anna and Joseph a blessing in Slovak first? And then we'll have renew their vow.
Tak nech vás všemohúci Boh, náš nebeský Otec, požehná vo vašich ďalších rokoch. Poďakuje za vaše spoločné životy. Nech vás žehná, sprevádza ochrane všemohúci Boh a Joachim Ána, naši patroni, v mene Otca i Syna i Ducha Svätého. Amen.
Since you have been married for 53 years and you've come here today to celebrate that anniversary, I'd like to ask you, is it your intention to continue your sacrament of marriage? Yes. Yes. Join your right hands and declare this consent before the church.
I, Anna,
Take you, Joseph,
take the Joseph
to be my husband.
to be my husband.
I promise to be faithful to you
I promise to be faithful to you
in good times and in bad,
in good times and bad
in
times,
sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love you
and honor you
all the days of my life.
all the days of my life.
Joseph, I take you, Anna,
I take you, Anna,
to be my wife.
to be my wife.
I promise to be faithful to you
I promise to be faithful to
in
you,
good times and in bad,
good time and a bad,
in sickness and in health,
and sickness and health,
to love you
to love you
and honor you
and honor you
all the days of my life.
all the days of my life.